Hey guys, it's Kevin. Today we're going to solve a problem pretty common, 0xe1 error, which you start a printer, the printhead moves smoothly, then it's sort of like stuck to your left. It's not hard stop. If it's slam to the left, that's a problem. This one you can say slowly settle on the left, and then you get this error pops up. If it slams to the left, you get maybe encoder error or encoder reader error, but this one is different. This one is 0xe1, which is pretty much your printer carriage may auto sync with the rail. Abby going to show you how to fix it.
Hey guys, it's Abby. So today we have a 0E1 error, and this printer is also not chipless, so you can go ahead and ignore that part of it. But the frame was falling off of the rail, so as you can see there, it falls off the rail and it goes and gets stuck.
Now we're looking sideways at your printhead carriage. Printhead carriage has to glide on a rail, so we're going to check how smooth it is when it goes back and forth on the rail.
So here our error pops up and it switches to Kevin. I was showing him how it comes off the rail, and he was trying to explain to me that if we maybe pull it as far to the left and try to wiggle it around or massage it in there, that we could possibly get it back on the rail. And we were just getting a good video showing what the problem was here.
You can see Abby can completely lift the printer carriage off the rail. And so when you're actually printing, sometimes off the rail, sometimes it's on the rail. It's high-speed printing, so that's why sometimes you get a E1 error, sometimes you don't.
So at some point it actually did look like Kevin had got it back on the rail, so I wanted to go ahead and power the printer back on and see if he had fixed the error. And as you watch it go to the left side, it falls back off the rail and it gets stuck. So our error pops back up. I put it back on the rail, but our error, 0E1 error, still pops up. So here I am going, and I took that scanner off, the top cover off, and I'm now working on taking this side metal piece off. Once I take that off, now I'm going to work on taking the waste tank off. There's going to be two screws. Once you take that screw off, then if you just push that white piece to the right, there'll be a screw deep down in there. That'll be the two screws there. So I tried to move this waste tank to see if I could try to get the frame to get back on the rail by moving it all the way to the right, since Kevin had already tried to the left. I thought maybe if we tried getting it back on by the right, it could work. That I couldn't get it to reach, so it was getting stuck. So I thought maybe if I could pry it a little bit, maybe that would work. Prying it wasn't working, so I then took that waste tank off, and I was looking for where it was getting stuck. So as you can see, there's this little white plastic square that had a little stop thing that I was getting stuck on before, and that's when I kind of realized that even if I had taken that off and the motor that was getting stuck on afterwards, it still wouldn't have reached with the FFC cables. So I swapped back to the way we were doing it before with Kevin, going all the way to the left. But now that I had that top cover off, I was thinking that it could possibly reach even farther to the left, which it did, and that was how I was able to get it fully back onto the rail. So here I am going back and fitting in that waste tank again, and just hooking it up properly, connecting it all back. And I'll put the two screws back in there. Just slide over that white piece to reveal that other spot for the screw. And I'll put that metal side piece back on. Screw that in there. And so I really think that what fixed this was just being able to have that top cover off. And being able to slide it fully over to the left. So here I am putting that top cover back on, and I'll go ahead and fit those 7 screws in there. I also put that hinge in the back of the printer to help hold on that scanner top. And here's that scanner that I'll be putting on. Just going to go ahead and feed that FFC cable through the back along with the wires. Once I get the wires through, I can work on plugging them up to the correct cables and putting the FFC in, making sure that the ground wire is screwed in correctly. After all my wires and FFC cables are plugged in, I can fit them in nicely, put that fax cover back on, and I'll take my 2 screws and screw them into the fax cover. Then I can take my other 2 screws and I can screw them into the top of the scanner. I'll go ahead and plug in my printer and see how that goes. I'll turn this into a chipless printer. But we can see that it moves back and forth and stays on the rail. So happy printing.
Hello, mortals. Your printer is saved. Kevin's YouTube channel is the answer to your prayers.